Everybody, it's Chelsea, and today I am doing a top 5 exterior modifications video. These are just a couple things that I have added to the camper trailer that have seriously helped me and the car pulling this thing, and then also helping when it comes to like the setup every time you hitch and unhitch. So the first thing that I want to talk about is our electric hitch. This thing has made such a difference. This is the thing that lowers the whole camper onto the ball of the hitch on your car. Some people have to crank it and do it manually, and if you're gonna live on the road full time, I seriously suggest just going ahead and installing an electric hitch. All you have to do is flick a button up and down, and the whole camper will move up and down. Ours also has a leveling thing on it with the bubble, and so it can tell us whether or not we're sitting too high in the front end or too high in the back end, and it even tells you side to side which way that you're facing. On the topic of hitching and unhitching, another thing that was really important for us is our sway bar and our weight distribution bars. These things are crucial if you are going to be on the road, especially if you're driving long distances and if you're driving in places that are high wind. The sway bar is what helps the camper not fishtail. If your car starts getting off control, as soon as you start fishtailing with the camper, you are in a bad situation. A lot of people end up flipping their entire camper because they don't know how to control what happens when they start fishtailing. This part slides in and out to allow for you to turn, but it won't let you start going crazy. So the sway bar really will help everyone just completely avoid that situation. It's really easy to put on, and I don't think they're that expensive, so I will try to find one and just link it in the description below. The other thing that really helps is the distribution, the weight distribution bars that we have. These are metal rods that have chains attached to them, and they go from the car to the camper hitch, and it really helps keep the weight off the front end of the camper so that it doesn't weigh down your car in the back as much, and it makes it a lot easier to hitch up too. Again, I don't think those things are really expensive, and I will put a link to some in the description. The next thing that we have really isn't a modification, but it's something that we bought that really helps us hitch and unhitch, and when we are setting up the campsite, this thing comes in handy all the time. Underneath your camper or RV or whatever, you are going to have leveling jacks or stabilizer jacks. They should be on all 4 corners of your camper trailer or your RV. And what you do is when you are unhitching and you're setting up your campsite, you put these things down once you know that you're level, and it keeps your camper or RV from rocking around when you walk around inside. And every single time you unhitch or rehitch up, you have to lower and raise these things. A lot of people have to do them manually, but what I did was get a drill bit for an electric drill, and you just stick it right on the end of it, and either, you just reverse the directions of the drill so that it goes either up or down, whatever you want, and it'll save you a lot of time and effort when you're hitching and unhitching. One thing that I did before we left for this trip, I had a double propane tank mount installed. So I went to a welder and I brought him my camper, and I said, look, we only have 1 propane tank, and I would really like to have 2, just for peace of mind when we're boondocking, whatever. I never want to run out of propane. So what we did, I took it to the welder, and he said, yeah, I can do this. And I think it cost me like $135 for all the metal and the labor combined. And so really, it wasn't too expensive. I highly recommend it, because if you run out of propane in the middle of boondocking or whatever, that is a real pain. I highly recommend doing that as well. It was a modification that I do not regret. The last thing that I want to talk about isn't a modification again, but it is something that you can purchase that will really help you out along the way. And these are chocks for your wheels. So every time you unhitch and you are leaving your camper behind to go into town or just hang out for the day, whatever you're doing, always make sure that you put the chocks in the front and in the back of one of the wheels at least. I have never seen a camper roll away down a hill or whatever, but I have heard of it happening. So it's just one of those precautions that it's a really cheap and easy preventative step that you can take to make sure that you don't lose your entire house. So those are my top 5 exterior modifications for a camper or RV. Most of them do apply to camper trailers like what I have, but I have found them to be incredibly helpful, and most of them are preventative measures to just avoid complete disasters, whether or not it's fishtailing, rolling down the edge of a mountain, or whatever. I really recommend all 5 of these things because they save time and they give you peace of mind. And I am going to also film a top 5 interior modifications video. This is going to be more applicable to everyone, not just camper trailers. This is going to be camper trailers, RVs, van lifers, whatever the deal may be. So stay tuned for that one, and I'll see you. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to stay updated with my travel, or if you are new to this lifestyle or thinking about this lifestyle and you just want to pick up a couple tips along the way. I do try to post weekly videos of that. Leave comments down below, like this video if you enjoyed the tips, and I'll see you in the next one.